So, Roland Martin's house appraisal example, coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reason. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So you may or may not have heard of Roland Martin. It's kind of hard to believe that anybody wouldn't have, but it's possible. Anyway, Roland Martin is yet another one of these blacks that are on TV, that host a TV show, reaching a mass audience, doing very well for himself, while at the same time telling black people that they're being held back and held down by racism. But not him, though. He's managed to navigate the minefield of racism, but everybody else can't. Nobody else but him and the few other blacks who have can, and we need to deal with this systematic white supremacy and racism and oppression. Anyway, on his show, he basically hosted a black conservative female, and they were debating the issue of race in America. And I'll put a link in the description, but the title of the video that I saw was, Roland Martin tussles with black GOP mom over critical race theory and racism in America. Now, I didn't watch the video. I watched like the first 5 minutes, and from the jump, they were talking about, racism in America here and there. And he brought up this whole house appraisal example. Now, reportedly, as the story goes, as he told it, there was a family that got an appraisal to come out and appraise the home. And supposedly, allegedly, because there was a black female there, and I don't know if it was a black family or if it was just a white man had a black wife, but there was a black female there with no black, quote unquote, black things, whatever the black things are. The appraisal, the white man gave the house a lower appraisal value because of the black woman in the black things. Now, reportedly again, there was another appraisal came by. They removed the black woman and the black things out of the equation, and another appraiser came along and gave the house a higher value. So in his mind, that's racism, because the white man gave the house a lower value because of a black woman. Now he asked the woman, was this racist? If that's not racism, well, is it racism? Well, we don't know, because we have to get more information in that little bit of information that he gave us. There has to be an investigation. I know that black people don't wait for investigations. They just jump to conclusion. Anytime they can see something that sounds plausible, that can equal the race, they jump to the gun without any investigation, without figuring out what happened, what was going on. But before we can say that that's racism, there's a few questions that have to be asked, again, in your investigation process. But then, as I've always said, the left, they're not concerned about the how, why. They just focus on the what. But anyway, the first question that has to be asked is there a set standard for how property is appraised? Now, this incident, I believe he said it was Miami, Florida. I don't remember because I didn't go back and watch the video, but I believe it was Miami. I know it was Florida for sure, but I believe it was Miami. But wherever it is there a set standard for the area that you live in and how something is appraised? Or are appraisers, do they have their own points that they use, their own points that they go by based upon how they appraise a home? For instance, if I go to my doctor about a condition that I have, and the doctor gives me his evaluation of it, if I don't like the evaluation, so I go out and get a second opinion. Well, is there such thing as a second opinion when it comes down to appraisers? Again, are all appraisers locked in by one set standard, or do they have their own principles that they go by? That's the question that has to be asked, because we're talking about two different appraisers. Now, the second question that has to be asked is, what's the history of both these appraisers? All right, let's take appraisal number one, the first appraisal. They're saying that he gave the house a lower value because there's a black woman. Well, based on what? Where's the evidence that you have to back that up? Show me the history of this appraiser going to and giving different values or ratings based upon skin color. So you have to show me a trend of this guy, or whoever it is, if it's a guy, if it's a female, this appraiser, show me evidence that he give black people lower values foot of property of their homes, while giving white people the exact same home, exact same situation, give a higher appraisal. So if you have a neighborhood and there's a black person living next door to a white person in a white neighborhood, and that appraiser will go to the white house, give them a high value, and go to the black people's house, the exact same house model, and they will just give them a lower value because of race. Give me the evidence of this. Show me. He never proved that. He just said this. Plus, then also the second appraiser. We need to do the same thing about the second appraiser. What's his history? Does he have a history of giving minorities lower value ratings for the exact same thing? Again, where is the evidence to prove that? And the third question that has to be asked is this story even true? I'm not saying that it's not true, but we know that blacks will make up lies to push race. Now, it's amazing how, with all this systematic white supremacy going on, you think that no black person would ever have to make up a false case, but black people do. Again, Justice Smollett. Would you have the need to make this fake rape case going about if there's all these white supremacists? If there's all these white supremacists going on, you would have to make fake cases. Okay, and then there's also remember that pastor in North Carolina, South Carolina, that lied and said the police officer pulled him over because he was black, and scoffed at the idea that he could be driving a Mercedes Benz and living in a nice neighborhood. He lied. This was the stories out there, and everybody believed it until the body cam footage was released, and then showing that he was lied, and everybody just completely dropped it. The media just dropped it. So I need to know if this is actually true or not. And I'm not saying that it's true, but again, we just need to do it in investigation to see what exactly transpired, everything that happened in the case, before anyone can say that this is racism. So he asked again. Roland Martin asked the woman, "Is that not racism?" And I say, no, it's not racism, Roland, until you provide the evidence that it is. Not no little rinky-dink story that you give that we can't really substantiate until we go out and get the facts. But the reason why I'm making a video on this, because I'm just showing y'all how quickly and easily that black people can cry racist about something. That's just how quick. They see something that they don't like, often revolving disparities, because it's never any fact. They all operate based upon disparities. But as soon as they see any disparity that they don't like, it's racism without any investigation. So no, this is not evidence of racism because we don't have enough evidence to prove it. Now, could it be racism? Sure. It could be racism. It could be that first appraiser could be an a-hole white person. But just like there's a bunch of a-hole people of all races. Bunch of racists of all races who do a-hole things like that. But until we get the evidence, no, this is not racism. Anyway, y'all, this is my 2 cents on that. Now, I'll put a link in the description of the video, like I said, and I didn't watch the rest of the video because after I saw that, I'm like, okay, I know this is the nonsense that we're going to get from Roland Martin, because this is the nonsense that we've always got from Roland Martin. Now, I will say that he is a very skilled debater, no doubt about it. But if he runs up against a conservative who is just as skilled a debater as he is, he doesn't stand a chance in hell. Snowball's chance in hell, or snowflake's chance in hell. But anyway, like I said, y'all, no, this is not racism. And if anyone can get in contact with Roland, let him know, no, it is not racism until he proves it. Anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.